In the 19th century, the United States presented itself to the world as the land of freedom, a beacon of liberty. But behind this shining ideal, there existed a dark reality, one sustained by chains, whips, and a suffocating silence. This was the America of slavery, an institution that wasn't just an economic engine, but a total system of surveillance, control, and terror. To confront it, an invisible war would be required. This is the story of that war fought in shadows, led by a secret society, and defined by the courage of one extraordinary woman. The enslaved person was imprisoned not only by physical chains, but by the full weight of the law, religion, and fear. The system was designed to allow no escape. Slave codes stripped individuals of their humanity, turning them into property. Bounty hunters, known as patrollers, roamed the countryside, their authority absolute. Punishments were public and brutal, designed to extinguish any spark of hope. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 weaponized the entire nation, legally compelling citizens in free states to participate in the capture and return of those seeking freedom. To escape was a crime. To help was treason against the nation itself. In this world, freedom was not a right but a fugitive dream. Faced with a system that crushed open rebellion, something far more dangerous began to emerge in the darkness. A moral conspiracy. It was a network born from whispers and driven by conscience. This was the Underground Railroad. It was a railroad without tracks, an organization without a headquarters, a war without a conventional army. It operated through a decentralized network of ordinary people, black and white, men and women, rich and poor, who chose to defy the law. They communicated with secret codes hidden in songs, quilts, and gestures. Safe houses were called stations, and brave guides were known as conductors or engineers. This was not just an escape route. It was an act of mass civil disobedience, a silent declaration that human dignity was a law higher than any government's decree. And from this clandestine world, a legend would rise. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery, knowing only brutality and bondage from her first breath. A severe head injury as a child left her with lifelong pain, but also with powerful, spiritual visions that she believed were messages from God. When she finally escaped to freedom, she made a radical, almost unthinkable decision. She would go back. Again and again. She could have enjoyed her own liberty in the North. Die. But she chose to be dangerous. She chose to become a conductor on this invisible railroad, turning to the very heart of the slave-holding South, risking her life with every step. She was a woman who had tasted freedom and decided it was not enough for just one. It had to be for everyone. Each journey Harriet Tubman led was a suicidal mission. The routes to freedom were a treacherous labyrinth stretching for hundreds of miles, from the deep South all the way to the northern states and even into Canada. They traveled almost exclusively at night, guided by the North Star, moving through dense forests, icy rivers, and treacherous swamps. Tubman was a master strategist. She used disguises, developed secret musical codes embedded in spirituals to communicate with her passengers, and carried a weapon not just for protection, but to ensure that no one, out of fear or weakness, would turn back and endanger the entire group. Her leadership was absolute, her resolve unshakable. In all her years and all her perilous journeys, it is said that Harriet Tubman never lost a single passenger. When the Civil War erupted in 1861, it was a battle for the soul of America. For Harriet Tubman, it was simply a new front in a war she had been fighting for years. She was already a veteran, a master of espionage and covert operations. The Union Army quickly recognized her unique skills. She became a scout, a spy, and a nurse. She organized a network of informants behind Confederate lines, gathering critical intelligence on enemy movements and supply routes. In one of the most remarkable and undertold stories of the war, she led the Combahee River Raid, a military operation that freed more than 750 enslaved people in a single night. She wasn't just saving lives one by one anymore. She was weakening the enemy's war machine from within, proving that the invisible war of the Underground Railroad was a vital part of the nation's fight for its own redemption. After the war, the chains were broken, but freedom did not bring immediate justice. The promise of equality was met with the harsh reality of post-war racism, segregation, and systemic poverty. Harriet Tubman's contributions were largely forgotten by the country she helped to save. She spent her later years fighting for women's suffrage and caring for the elderly and impoverished in her community. She died without wealth or widespread national recognition for her incredible wartime heroism. But she left behind an immortal legacy, one of unyielding courage, strategic brilliance, and a profound commitment to human freedom. Her life was a testament to the power of a single individual to change the course of history. The story of the Underground Railroad and Harriet Tubman teaches us a timeless lesson. When the law is unjust, disobedience becomes a moral obligation. Resistance is not always fought on battlefields with guns and armies. Sometimes it is fought in whispers, in secret networks, in the quiet, defiant choices of individuals who refuse to accept an immoral reality. Harriet Tubman did not lead armies of soldiers, she led armies of conscience. She reminds us that true leadership is not about power or position, but about service, sacrifice, and an unbreakable belief in the dignity of every human being. Her story is not just a chapter of the past, it is a permanent call to action for the present. If this story made you reflect on the true meaning of courage and freedom, please like this video. Share it with those who need to know this essential part of our history. And subscribe to the channel for more documentaries that reveal the hidden truths that have shaped our world. Thank you for watching.